Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we are looking at one of the fastest ways people waste money on their car's AC system. Before we even grab a wrench, try this. Turn your AC on and look at the center of the compressor pulley. If the outer pulley is spinning, but the center plate is stationary, your compressor isn't actually dead, it's just waiting for a signal. Here is how to find that signal for free. Your AC suddenly starts blowing warm air. You press the AC button, turn the temperature all the way down, increase the fan speed, and nothing changes. The vents still blow warm air, the compressor does not click on, and the first thought is usually, my AC compressor is bad. But stop right there. A compressor that is not turning on does not automatically mean the compressor has failed. In many cases, the compressor is being blocked from running because the car's computer is protecting it. Low refrigerant pressure, high pressure, a bad pressure switch, a blown fuse, a weak relay, a broken wire, or even a confused HVAC module can all stop the compressor from engaging. So before you spend hundreds or thousands replacing an AC compressor, I'm going to show you how to do a basic AC reset, how to check the fuse and relay, how to inspect the pressure switch, and how to test whether the compressor is actually getting power. And by the end of this video, you should know whether you are dealing with a simple electrical issue, a low refrigerant problem, a bad pressure sensor, or a compressor that truly needs attention. Now, before we touch anything, here are the basic tools you may need. A test light, a basic multimeter, safety glasses, your owner's manual or fuse box diagram, and if you have one, an AC manifold gauge set or a scan tool that can read live AC pressure data. You do not need to open the refrigerant system for the basic checks. And please, do not vent refrigerant into the air. If the system needs to be recovered, evacuated, or recharged by weight, that part needs proper AC equipment. Now let's start with the first thing you can try, a basic HVAC reset. This is not magic. It will not fix a leaking AC system. It will not repair a burned compressor. But if the AC module has glitched, if the battery was recently changed, if the system shut down after a pressure fault, or if the climate control is not responding properly, a reset can sometimes bring the system back long enough for proper testing. Here is how you can do it. Park the car safely, set the parking brake, turn the engine off, and turn the AC controls completely off. If it is a push-button start vehicle, make sure the ignition is fully off, not just in accessory mode. Wait about 1 minute so the modules can power down. Now, open the hood and locate the fuse box. Check the fuse box cover or your owner's manual for anything labeled AC, HVAC, compressor clutch, climate control, blower, or cooling fan. If your car has an HVAC or AC fuse, remove that fuse for about 3 to 5 minutes, then reinstall it fully. If your car does not have a simple AC fuse you can identify, some people disconnect the negative battery cable for about 10 to 15 minutes. But be careful with this method. Some vehicles may need a radio code, window relearn, throttle relearn, or steering angle relearn after battery disconnection. So if you are not sure, use the fuse method first. After reinstalling the fuse or reconnecting the battery, start the engine. Set the AC to maximum cold. Turn the fan to medium or high. Set the system to recirculation. Open the windows so the system does not cycle off too quickly. Then press the AC button and listen. You are listening for a click from the compressor clutch. You are also watching to see if the radiator fans come on when AC is requested. On many vehicles, the cooling fan should run when the AC is turned on. Now here is what your result means. If the AC starts working and blows cold again, good, but do not celebrate too early. That means the reset helped, but it does not prove the problem is gone. If it cuts out again later, you may still have a pressure issue, weak relay, bad sensor, cooling fan problem, or wiring fault. If the blower works, the AC light comes on, but the compressor never engages, move to the next checks. And if nothing responds at all, no blower, no AC light, no fan operation, you may have a power, fuse, control panel, or module issue. Now before we test the pressure switch, check the cheap electrical parts first. Start with the AC compressor fuse. Do not just look at the fuse and assume it is good. Pull the fuse out and inspect it, or better, use a test light. Clip the test light to a good ground. You can use the battery negative terminal or a clean metal ground point. Turn the key on, then touch the small metal test points on top of the fuse. If the test light lights up on both sides, the fuse has power and is likely good. If it lights up on one side but not the other, the fuse is blown. If it does not light up on either side, that circuit may not be powered at that moment, or you may have a supply issue. Some AC circuits only power up when the AC is requested, so always compare with your fuse diagram. Next, check the AC relay if your car uses one. Look inside the fuse box for a relay labeled AC clutch, compressor, or MGCLT on some vehicles. Many fuse boxes have another relay with the same part number, like the horn relay or fan relay. For a quick test, swap the AC relay with another identical relay. Make sure the part numbers and pin layout match. Now, start the car, turn the AC back on, and see what happens. If the compressor suddenly clicks on after swapping the relay, you may have found a weak or failed relay. Replace the bad relay with the correct one. If nothing changes, put the relays back where they belong and keep testing. Now inspect the compressor connector. With the engine off, locate the connector going to the AC compressor clutch or compressor control valve, depending on your vehicle. Look for broken wires, oil-soaked connectors, melted plastic, loose pins, corrosion, or a connector that is not fully seated. Sometimes the problem is not the compressor. Sometimes the connector is loose or the wire is broken right near the plug. If you see green corrosion, spray the connector with electrical contact cleaner, let it dry fully, reconnect it, and test again. Now let's move to the AC pressure switch or pressure sensor. This part is very important because the pressure switch is one of the main reasons the compressor may be blocked from running. The pressure switch is usually mounted on one of the AC refrigerant lines. Depending on the vehicle, it may be on the low pressure side near the accumulator or suction line, or on the high pressure line near the condenser. Some vehicles use a 2-wire pressure switch. Others use a 3-wire pressure sensor, also called a pressure transducer. And this is where many people make a dangerous mistake. Do not randomly jump wires at the pressure switch. On older 2-wire systems, some people briefly jump the connector to see if the compressor comes on. But if the system is low on refrigerant, that can force the compressor to run without proper lubrication. On newer 3-wire pressure sensors, jumping wires can damage the sensor circuit or even the computer. So instead of forcing the compressor to run, test why the car is refusing to turn it on. Start with a simple visual inspection. Turn the ignition off. Unplug the pressure switch connector. Look inside the connector and inside the sensor pins. Check for moisture, green corrosion, bent pins, broken plastic, or a loose wire. If the connector is dirty, spray it lightly with electrical contact cleaner. Do not fill it with oil or grease. Let it dry completely, reconnect it firmly, and test the AC again. If that does not change anything, use a multimeter. For a 2-wire pressure switch, set your multimeter to continuity mode. With the connector unplugged and the car off, touch 1 meter probe to one terminal on the switch and the other probe to the second terminal. You are testing the switch side, not the harness side. If the system has enough pressure and the switch is supposed to be closed, your meter should beep or show low resistance. If the switch stays open, there are 2 possibilities. Either the switch is bad, or the system pressure is too low and the switch is doing its job. That is why you should not judge the switch without checking refrigerant pressure. If you have a manifold gauge set, connect the blue hose to the low side service port and the red hose to the high side service port. Do this with the engine off first. The low side port is usually on the larger AC line. The high side port is usually on the smaller line. The fittings are different sizes, so the hoses should only connect to the correct side. With the engine off, both gauges should settle close to the same pressure. If both sides are near 0 or extremely low, the system may be empty or very low. In that case, the pressure switch may be open because it is protecting the compressor. That means the correct fix is not a compressor. The correct fix is to find the leak, repair the leak, evacuate the system, and recharge it with the correct amount of refrigerant by weight. Look for oily residue around AC fittings, the condenser, hose crimps, service ports, compressor shaft seal area, and line connections. Refrigerant escapes as gas, but oil often escapes with it, so oily dirt around a fitting can be a clue. Now, if the system has pressure, but the scan tool shows 0 AC pressure or an impossible number, then the pressure sensor or its wiring may be lying to the computer. For a 3-wire pressure sensor, the test is different. A 3-wire sensor usually has a 5-volt reference wire, a ground wire, and a signal wire. Do not unplug it and test it like a basic 2-wire switch. Most of the time, you test it plugged in by carefully backprobing the connector. Turn the ignition on. Set your multimeter to DC volts. First, find the reference wire. One wire should have around 5 volts. Second, check the ground wire. One wire should have a good ground. Third, check the signal wire. The signal voltage should change based on refrigerant pressure. If the 5-volt reference is missing, the sensor may not be the problem. You may have a wiring issue, fuse problem, or computer side issue. If the ground is bad, the sensor cannot report pressure correctly. If reference and ground are good, but the signal is stuck extremely low, stuck extremely high, or does not match the actual pressure, then the sensor or wiring becomes suspicious. A scan tool makes this easier. If the scan tool can read AC pressure data, look at what the computer thinks the pressure is. If the gauge shows pressure, but the scan tool says 0, that points toward the sensor circuit. If the scan tool shows extremely high pressure when the car is cold and off, that also points toward a sensor or wiring fault. Now let's say the pressure is okay. The pressure sensor signal looks normal, the fuse is good, and the relay is good, but the compressor still does not engage. Now you check whether the compressor is actually receiving power and ground. Go to the compressor connector. With the engine running and the AC turned on, carefully back probe the compressor clutch connector. Keep your hands, wires, sleeves, and tools away from the belt and pulley. Set your multimeter to DC volts. If your compressor clutch has a 2-wire connector, one wire should receive power when the AC is commanded on, and the other should be ground. If you have power and ground at the compressor, but the clutch does not click, the clutch coil may be bad, the clutch air gap may be too wide, or the clutch assembly may have failed. If you do not have power at the compressor, do not blame the compressor yet. Go backward. The issue may be relay control, pressure switch signal, AC control head, ambient temperature sensor, evaporator temperature sensor, engine computer command, or wiring. This is the part that saves money. A compressor can only engage if the system allows it to engage. So the question is not just, is the compressor spinning? The real question is the compressor being commanded on, and is the power actually reaching it? Now, let's talk about when the compressor may actually be bad. If the compressor receives power and ground, but the clutch does not engage, the clutch or compressor assembly may be faulty. If the clutch engages, but the low side and high side pressures barely change, the compressor may not be pumping properly. If the compressor makes grinding noises, locks up, smokes the belt, or causes the belt to squeal badly when the AC is turned on, then you may have a mechanical compressor failure. And if there is metal debris in the system, that becomes a bigger repair. In that case, replacing only the compressor may destroy the new compressor quickly. The system may need a compressor, condenser, receiver dryer or accumulator, expansion valve or orifice tube, and proper flushing where allowed. So here is the correct order I want you to follow before buying a compressor. First, do a basic HVAC module reset or power cycle. Second, check the AC fuse with a test light. Third, test or swap the AC relay with an identical relay. Fourth, inspect the compressor connector and wiring. Fifth, inspect the pressure switch connector. Sixth, check the refrigerant pressure with gauges if you have the equipment. Seventh, test the 2-wire pressure switch or 3-wire pressure sensor correctly. Eighth, confirm whether the compressor is receiving power and ground. Only after that should you start thinking about replacing the compressor. Now let me make this very simple with 3 examples. If your AC compressor is not clicking on, your gauge shows very low or almost 0 pressure, and the pressure switch is open, the pressure switch is probably not bad. The system is low and the switch is protecting the compressor. If your gauge shows pressure, but your scan tool shows 0 AC pressure, the pressure sensor or its wiring may be lying to the computer. If the pressure is normal, the fuse and relay are good, and the compressor receives power and ground but still does not engage, then the compressor clutch or the compressor itself becomes much more likely. That is how you diagnose instead of guessing. Do not force the compressor on with jumper wires just because it is not spinning. Do not keep adding refrigerant every few weeks without finding the leak. Do not replace the compressor just because the vents are blowing warm air. And do not open the AC system unless the refrigerant has been properly recovered. Your goal is not to force the compressor to run. Your goal is to find out why the car is refusing to turn it on. If this video helped you, please like the video, share it with someone whose AC is blowing warm air, and subscribe to the channel. And be sure to also watch this other video here where I show you how to know the difference between the signs and symptoms of bad valve seals versus bad piston rings, and how to fix each of them. I will see you there.